Hi, I'm Rosana. I'm an undergraduate business student from Universitas Prasetya Mulia. And one bold thing that I want to explore during my global internship is actually how a healthy working environment is fostered within a real corporate setting, and how I can actually experience developing strategic growth that is implemented in the real world and not just creating a plan for it. Next question, what am I most proud of? I'm actually really proud of my achievement scholarship from my university and how I can step into various leadership roles the past year. A new skill that I learned is actually structured analytical thinking skills from my case competitions, training efficient study methods, and also being resilient in challenging leadership roles. A micro move that I want to do to maintain this is to continuously train my brain to think analytically when I face challenges, even if it's just minor challenges that I face in my daily life. So next question, why this internship actually matters to me. I believe that this internship actually allows me to gain professional exposure that I've never been exposed to, and I can actually gain a chance to experience this at a global scale. So I'm very committed to contribute at least 2 recommendations to my team that is actually implemented and incorporated into the final team output. Next question, tell about a multi-week commitment that I've completed. I've actually worked as a project consultant in a prominent F&B company for about 6 months. I worked in a group of 6, and a system that kept me on track is actually having a master sheet, where the master sheet actually shows all the tasks we have to execute, what order we had to execute it in, and a Gantt chart that shows the timeline of when this project should start and when this project should complete. Basically, it governs our whole project flow. And we actually did bi-weekly meetings with our client to make sure that everything is in line with their expectations. And also a metric that showed we finished this correctly, we finished this properly, is that our go-to-market strategy was actually implemented by the client in the end. Okay, next we're gonna get into the case study section where the main question is, should we double the ads budget from 20,000 gold to 40,000 gold? So first I'm gonna run the numbers. For the customer acquisition cost, I divide spending on ads per new citizens gained. So 20,000 divided by 300 gives us 66.7 gold per citizen. For the lifetime value, I first get the average lifetime by dividing 1 per monthly churn rate of 6%. So 1 divided by 0.06 gives us 16.7 months. I then times that by the monthly revenue. So 30 times 16.7 gives us 501 gold. For the payback period, I divide customer acquisition cost by the monthly revenue. So 66.7 divided by 30 gives us 2.2 months. For my assumptions, I assume that churn rate, conversion rate, monthly revenue, and also customer acquisition cost is remaining constant. For the 2 futures, I assume that in normal magic, if we spend 20,000 gold, we can gain 300 customers. So if we times that by the LTV of 501, we can generate a revenue of 150,300 gold. In the boosted magic scenario, if we spend 40,000 gold, with the assumption of customer acquisition can be doubled, we can gain 600 customers. And if we times that by the LTV, we can gain 300,600 gold. So I recommend to cast the spell and double the ads budget next month. However, we need to ensure that we gain a preferable output. How do we do this? By experimenting to test and back up our consensus. The first experiment we can do is the churn rate test. So we compare the churn rate and LTV in the normal versus boosted magic scenario. So the boosted magic scenario should generate less, if not equal to, the normal scenario churn rate. For the second test, we can do customer acquisition test. We can scale first for a brief period of time. For example, if increasing ad spend by 50% and then running it for 15 days. The goal is to ensure that there is a significant increase in conversion rate. Thank you.